So next we're going to get into Urban Meyer, former coach at Florida, and just coached his last game at Ohio State. Led the Buckeyes to a win over Washington in the Rose Bowl. Great legacy that he left behind at Ohio State University. I know got some Michigan fans on here, sorry in advance, but we'll get into this and see where it goes. What you got?
Well, just as the football aspect, just coaching, probably top 5 of all time. Won everywhere he went, was competitive, won championships. So from that part, but when you think about this year, really is gonna, in my opinion, blemish his career of just the way he handled the interview and the whole situation that happened. When the report comes out that the athletic director called him and told him to admit the truth, and then he gets on the stage and he kind of acts like he doesn't know what's going on. He acts like he's on some medication. He just has no clue what's going on. So I just really think he mishandled the situation. And it might not all be his fault. You can probably blame the administration a little bit. But you think about it, he ran from Florida for some mysterious health issues, gets to Ohio State, stuff starts to hit the fan, and all of a sudden mysterious health issues come back again. So you hate saying, and I'm not going to be that person to say, like, that his health issues are bogus, because if he is having health issues, like, wish him the best and all that stuff. But it just really blows my mind that he happens to get health issues when stuff starts to hit the fan. Like, when after basically Tebow was leaving, he knew Florida was going to struggle. And that's when his health issues started to happen. And then, when Ohio State stuff starts to kind of went through a rough year, wasn't winning a lot of games. And now all of a sudden you get this thing with the assistant and all this, everybody's on your ass. And now you got health issues again. It just kind of, I think it really blemishes his career because, he probably could have went down as top 3, but there's always going to be that argument now, especially if he doesn't coach again, of what happened his last year at Ohio State. So, that's probably all I got to say. But X's and O's wise, yeah, top 5 coach, whether I like that or not. He won wherever he was, but just too much off the field drama for me, and he didn't handle it the right way. Didn't handle it as a professional, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, again, like you said, a top 5 coach. He could be a top 3 coach to me. Not many coaches can go 82-9. But handling that situation with the assistant coach, and I think there was a report that came out, he's trying to find out how to delete text messages. And, that is going to put a little stain right there. All coaching, all records and everything aside, you look at that, that tells you something. He's trying to cover something, kind of like at Penn State, Joe Paterno, what happened down there, he tried to cover it up a little bit, and then they took a lot of his wins away. Now they did give him back, but he's saying, I don't know what's going on. I mean, you're the head of your football program. You have your assistant coaches, you have all that goes on, and you should have control over your program. When he was at Florida, sorry, he'll be a Gator fan, but there was a very stunning amount of arrests and things going on at Florida when Urban Meyer was there. I don't think the arrests, and everything, that was a problem in Columbus, but, he took over a program, that was kind of in the dumps after stuff that went on before, but now where you get to now, the dishonesty, at least it is to me, cannot go on. And, nothing against him with the health issues and stuff, but you're right. He seemed to kind of hit the fan, like you said, when things started to go awry there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with what both of you guys said. Urban Meyer's a great coach. He's the way he develops, the way he game plans, on the field coaching, off the field coaching. He's a great coach. It hurts me to say it, but give credit where it's due. He's probably going to go down as one of the best of all time. His reputation, Urban Meyer as a man, as a person, I don't think it's great. I think he hurt not only his reputation with the Zach Smith stuff this year, but he's hurt the school's reputation that he's coached at, especially Ohio State now. I mean, with all the things going on in the world with sexual abuse and things like that, and how serious it is in today's world, for Ohio State to come out and now have him teaching character classes and putting him as a role of assistant athletic director, it's a stretch. I think he's hurt. He's hurt more than just his reputation now, and I think it's starting to show a little bit. Urban's always been a guy to just push it under the rug, no matter what happened, whether it was at Florida, whether it's at Ohio State. So Urban Meyer as a guy, I don't think he's very likable. I think he's a bullshitter is what he is. When it comes to coaching football, though, he's a mastermind. He's a great coach. I'm not going to talk about it too long. I ain't got much to say about it, but I will say that one of the best coaches I've probably seen in my lifetime. He's up there, Nick Saban caliber coach. But as a human being, he's just one of those guys that you kind of want to punch in the face. So that's it for me.
Yeah, like all you guys been saying, he's a great coach, phenomenal. He's won everywhere he's gone. He started at Bowling Green, was successful there. Then went to Utah, won, I believe it was the Fiesta Bowl at Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Utah State, one of those two schools. And then he went to Florida, winning 2 titles. And then you gotta give him a lot of credit for, with Ohio State winning the first ever playoff. That was the first year they had the playoff system in place and won it that year. But yeah, like you guys said, he'll go down as one of the best football coaches of all time. But his legacy is tarnished by, the stuff this year with Zach Smith and just like some other stuff like the questionable players at Florida and stuff. And I feel like he's run from, like Zai said, when his, things start kind of going mad and turning, he kind of runs from stuff. So that's all I gotta say, one of the best coaches of this era and of all time. But yeah.
Well, look, his off the field issues, I think, affected his on the field accomplishments. So I think you guys already got into off field stuff enough. So I'm gonna relate to on the field, talk about that a little more. Since I'm Urban Meyer, a fan, Gator fan, so I always have respect for him on the field. I think his story is a little unique. The fact that he started off at Bowling Green, a small school like that, whereas today, if you want to get a big job, just be a coordinator in the pros or at like big time like Alabama, and then branch out from there. Rarely do you see a guy be successful at a school like Bowling Green, then go out west, then down south, and then land at Ohio State, and then win everywhere you go on top of that. So I think it's just pretty unique. I think he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I think Dave Bear Bryant. And then I think just the icing on the cake was how he handled the whole Jim Harbaugh situation. When Jim Harbaugh first got appointed at Ann Arbor, everyone just thought after year 1 or year 2 he just come in and blitz everyone. And Urban Meyer kind of gave him a reality check. And now you see him, he's always going to have that over Jim Harbaugh, being 4-0, and especially how they beat them that last game of the year and going out with a bang at the Rose Bowl. And with 3 titles, go with it. Like I said, on the field, one of the greatest coaches of all time. But legacy-wise, the off-field issues kind of hurt him a little bit. But overall, great coach. And it'll be interesting to see if he gets back into coaching after a year or 2 or later down the road. I don't think he's totally done. I think he still has a lot of fire in the belly, and we'll just have to see what the future unfolds.
I'm sure his headaches will go away.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure he'll be coaching back in no time.
Yeah, I agree. A lot, especially for where he coached, at Ohio State, basically your goal at Ohio State, if you're the coach is to beat Michigan, and he did. And what college coaches, what you want to do is win. It's their job to go in there, recruit, get a scheme, and to win football games. This is, not to discredit, all the off the field stuff, but they're going to do what they can to cover up the blemishes, because once it gets out, it's out there. Like Maryland with DJ Durkin, that unfolded, And then he was gone. With college basketball, Rutgers, Mike Rice, chucking balls at players. Once that uncovered, he was done. So they couple years they tried to keep it low key, but once it got out, it was, now he's done. So add him to that list of those coaches.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think Urban ever goes to the NFL?
No.
No?
Yeah, I would say no.
No.
I don't think he's got the cojones to do it either.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's super hard now, in my opinion, to go from the college game to the pro game.
Oh, absolutely.
The pro game is just so advanced that, like, Urban Meyer's spread is crazy in college, and it would be nothing in the pros. Just from what
Trav was saying it. He tweeted the other day, and he's making a good point. Now more than ever, the college game is starting to rub off on the professional game. So if the time to go in, it'll be now.
Yeah, it's getting there.
I mean, I think you see in spurts, but I'm not sold yet. I mean, we haven't seen it yet. And this can be for a different argument for a different day, but I'll be quick. Is that these spread guys that you get in the NFL, like you're going to see Lamar Jackson made the playoffs. I'm still not sold to say Mahomes is a spread guy because he can sling that thing. But like they're 1 year hot, and then all of a sudden maybe 2 years hot like RG3 was, and then all of a sudden the league catches up to them, and they just adjust and they get more film on them and guys. But I mean, you still think about it. Really good teams this year. You got the Patriots, the Chargers, the Saints, all guys that are just pocket passers, smart. Like, I think in order to win, you still got to have a pocket passing quarterback. I mean, maybe it'll change. Maybe Russell Wilson's the one guy that's a little different, but usually it's a pocket passing quarterback that wins. So I'm not ready to say the NFL's changing. I think that you got high. I think the Ravens made a good move. It was just time for a change. But I'm still not sold that Lamar Jackson is the future of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you want to have a career of longevity in the NFL, I think you need to take the least amount of shots possible. And now, well, they protect the quarterback as much as ever, but when you're out of that pocket, you're a runner now.
Right.
So, I mean, you're just one shot away from being sidelined. And immediately, I thought RG3, after the first or second year, when he took him to the playoffs and he almost beat Seattle, they thought he was the best out of that class, better than Andrew Luck. And I think he's a great guy, and unfortunately, now he's not even in the NFL anymore. So I think if you want to have a long career, yes, you have to be a pocket passer. But let's see if this trend will stick up. I mean, am I confident in it? Probably not, but we'll see.
I agree. And real quickly with the Urban Meyer spread thing in the NFL, the great example that Zai just put out that's going to lead me to this is Chip Kelly. The Eagles were a great team for 1 year with that hurry up, go, go, go offense, and then a couple years the Eagles sucked. So, I mean, could it work for 1 year? Sure, it could. He could go 10-6 or something, but eventually, people are going to start to figure out what you're doing, and then it's going to get shut down real quick.
You think about it. I mean, I think if we look back on the past Super Bowl champions, a lot of them didn't even win national championships in college. I mean, Tom Brady didn't win a national championship. Drew Brees at Purdue didn't win a national championship. Phillip Rivers didn't win a national championship. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but he's, in the MVP race. Aaron Rodgers didn't win a national championship. So you think about a lot of these guys, and it just shows the college game is way different than the pro game. So the college game is more get a playmaker back there, and when things break down, go make a play. Where the pro game is so design, play calls, stuff like that. It's just, in my opinion, it's a big jump to go from college to pro, where I still think guys can go from pro to college, though.
I agree wholeheartedly with that one. So, Urban Meyer, again, great coach. Few things on the blemish there, but overall, he'll go down as one of the best coaches of all time. So that'll wrap it up with that one, and we'll get into the NFL playoffs coming up.